All right, we have two incredible guests with us today from Wake Forest. We have Nick Kurtz and Seaver King, two guys who are big MLB draft prospects. We're going to be right in the middle of that Wake Forest lineup this year. Well, we're excited to have both of you on. So we want to kick off the first question. Have you guys give a little bit of background about about yourselves, just how you got into baseball and your journey to Wake Forest. Seaver, we'll kick it off with you, just because you have just a unique and incredible journey. I think everybody will want to hear.
Yeah, kind of grew up playing a bunch of sports, but fell in love with baseball at a young age. Played travel ball pretty young, kind of got into that circuit, and then around 12, 13, guys started growing and getting bigger and stuff, and I just kind of stayed back a little bit. So just kind of made my way. Just all right, college baseball is my ultimate goal. Like, let's just go try to do that. My senior year, I committed to Wingate University. Went up there, and I was at that point, I was just content that, like, hey, this is where my road's going to end, and I'm just going to play college ball here. And then I had 2 great seasons, and I kind of clicked right away, like, hey, maybe I can go, make a career out of this. So I decided to go in the portal. Had a lot of schools to look at, but, ultimately Wake Forest was the right place for me. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Nick, what about you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same way. Grew up, playing baseball every day with my brothers, my dad. Also played basketball my entire life, pretty much. Went to a boarding school for high school after my freshman year in Tennessee. So I did that, and then I came into Wake when I was actually a freshman in high school before the rules were put in place and stuff like that. So I came into Wake as a pitcher. Then throughout high school, I became a two-way, and then when I got here, I was a hitter only. And then been at Wake for 3 years, had a great time. Hopefully back to Omaha again this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome too. Talk a little bit about that, coming in as a pitcher, right? And then all of a sudden having to transition to hitting, basically becoming one of the best hitters in the nation. How was that transition for you?
Yeah, I mean, I always liked hitting better than pitching. Those things I always enjoyed more, but I was a big, tall, left-handed pitcher who could throw pretty hard, so they're all looked at me as a pitcher. Then through I tore my labrum back in high school, my throwing shoulder, and after that point, I was like, hey, Coach, I think I'm just gonna hit from now on, and he respected that decision, and it's worked out since then.
Love it. Tyler, go ahead. I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely worked out since then, hasn't it? So I wanted to ask you, Seaver, just because you were on the Cape this year, and as well you went down to Cary to do collegiate. What was that experience like compared to what Wingate was? What was that for you?
Yeah, going up to the Cape. Actually, on my visit, Coach Walt came in and was like, hey, Massey, you're going to Team USA. And then he told me I was on a short list. So I get up to the Cape, not really thinking about it, like, hey, whatever, haven't got a call. And then I remember going 2 games in the Cape, going 9 for 10. And then the next day at BP, I get a call. And it happened to be the Wednesday. And I was supposed to be in Cary on a Friday. So it was kind of crazy. So I went down there. And I think when I first was like, wow, I've kind of changed is I think it was late at night, and I wanted to go get something to eat. I asked somebody to go to the gas station, and somebody's like, the team room's open. Like, we got all this stuff. And I was like, what in the world? So that was one of the big things that, kind of shocked me because I'm not used to that. But yeah, after playing with Team USA, got to meet awesome guys, best players in the country. But yeah, it's truly probably my favorite summer I've ever had, traveling everywhere, having my mom be able to come see me everywhere, my dad and all that stuff. So it was pretty awesome.
That's great to hear, man.
Yeah, I want to build off of that from Tyler a little too, because like you said, he went from a small school D2 at Wingate to Wake Forest. How's that transition gone for you now that you're kind of in your first fall with Wake? And what's kind of stuck out to the most to you, kind of as a difference between where you were and now being at Wake?
Yeah, I kind of had a criteria what I was looking for with the school I was going to go to, and Wake kind of fit it perfectly. Coming in, first couple of weeks, the guys are, you're right a part of the team. And, we're just getting to work right now. We kind of got our dudes throwing now. And I think the hitters are now in a groove and stuff. So it's going to be super competitive going up to these fall games. And I'm super excited for the spring.
Yeah, I love it. Tyler, go getting in with you if you have any questions.
Yeah, I was going to say, Nick, I want to ask you this. Omaha last year, what was that experience like for you? Because I'm going to get you in on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like the thing you always dream about as a kid. You go to a place where play in front of, I don't know, 30,000 fans, however many it was. And at this time, everyone's rooting against you. It's basically a away game for LSU fans. And it was pretty awesome to share that moment with the guys, the team, the team that you worked so hard for, go through the brutal falls and the conditioning and the Omaha challenges to actually get there. It's pretty awesome. And then to do it for a Wake Forest community who hasn't really been there. They went back when, the game was a little different, but I think the game's completely changed. And it's one of those things where we got to do something for Wake Forest that hasn't really been done.
Yeah, let's say, because I think the last time they were in Omaha was what, 55? 55, I think. Yeah, so that's just amazing to hear. And like, especially with I think it was a Skeens Louder duel that got walked off on, the Toppy White walk off.
Yeah.
What was that? Like, how was that environment, first off, just being in that big of a stadium with all the fans around?
Yeah, I mean, it was the game was crazy. The game was awesome. It was super fun. And that moment was a little sad, a little frustrating, especially for me not being able to really play in that game and being a little bit banged up. So that was a hard moment to go through. But, we learn from all these moments. We move on and we just get better from it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how are you all using that motivation, right? From going to the College World Series, getting so close, and then all of a sudden now you're kind of on that journey coming into 2024, going after the same thing. So how is that College World Series experience really helping you guys in terms of momentum for this year?
Yeah, we kind of we've been there. We know what it takes. The return knows everything we got to do to get back there. And then just from going off last year, we're angry, we're mad, we're upset of how last year ended, and we're going to use that in any way we can to get back there and come back with a bigger trophy.
Yeah, I love that. Seaver, for you, what's it like being in that environment now, right? You're coming from Wingate to Wake Forest and now chasing a potential College World Series run, all those things. What's been some of the motivating factors for you this year?
Yeah, I got blessed with going into Wingate the year after they won the national championship. So I kind of got entered into the same kind of role, I guess you could say. So I think it's just going about our business the right way. They know what it took to get them there, but we're, like Coach Walt says, we're a different team than we were last year. We're gonna have different, good things we do, bad things we do. It's just gonna be a different team and a different vibe, and we just gotta, own that and just play with that, and I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I love that. I was kind of looking to the fall. You all have started your fall scrimmages. Seaver, for you, I know that you hit a home run the other day. It sounds like 109 exit velo for you. What was that experience like, finally playing in kind of your first D1 game, even though it's just a scrimmage?
Yeah, we've played probably 5 or 6, including today. So I've actually been struggling a little bit. So today, to kind of get off the horse against our guys was, a big confidence boost for me. But yeah, I mean, even just playing in a stadium like that is just something, I didn't really dream of until, a couple years ago. So that was absolutely a huge thing. I'm just excited to get that thing packed and playing against somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure once you get those crowds in there in that environment, it's just going to be a whole different story. I got a couple more questions with Tyler. I just want to turn it over to you in case you got some others.
Yeah, I did have a couple questions for both of you guys. Just because you mentioned the scrimmages and everything. Who's been the hardest arm to face on that staff thus far this fall for both of you?
Oof.
I mean, I would say, based off of today, Michael Massey had my number today. I mean, it was a 3-pitch at bat, but it was pretty quick. But it's good. So, but yeah, either him. I think Ben Shinovsky's a guy to look out for. He's been throwing really well right now. So yeah, those 2 guys.
Cool. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I'd say today, my Massey for sure. Carl for today. Then we got this freshman named Hayden LeFew, who's been looking pretty good. At least he's a left-hand pitcher. Left on left, he's not fun. He's up to 96, 95, 90. It's pretty good arm, so that's not fun to face either. But probably those 2.
I would say LeFew was a big guy last year too, because he was kind of like a pop-up guy May-ish, because he was talking 95, 96 late. So he'll be a fun arm. That's once he gets in that.
Absolutely.
Games in spring. And then let's see. What was it, Jared? It was Brock Wilken the other day on your other podcast that said that what was it about power between you and Nick?
Nick, on Joe Doyle's podcast, you said that you have more pop than him, and then I interviewed him last week, and he said that's not even close to true. So we have to get the word from you. Do you have more pop than Brock?
Yeah, of course I do. I tell him. He knows I doesn't like to admit it. It's okay.
What's the chances we're gonna get a Wilken Kurtz home run derby at some point?
I hope so at some point. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, down with that.
Can we do it this fall, like on the 22nd?
I mean, if we can do it, yeah, I'm in.
He's like done with instruct soon, I have to imagine. So he's got to go back to Wake and then get it going.
Yeah, he texted me today, so he's coming back pretty soon.
Yeah. I'll kind of go into the last question I got here. So just for you guys, it's so that everybody can get to know you outside of the game too. What are some of your passions away from baseball as well? Seaver, I'll kick it off to you first.
Yeah, I think me and Kurtz share similar or big gamers, I would say. So that, and then unlike Kurtz, I like playing golf a little bit. So those are my kind of two things.
But have you found any courses yet by Wake?
No, unfortunately. So I spent a little time at Wingate before I came and moved up in here.
Okay.
So my clubs are actually with my roommate, my ex roommate down there. So I haven't got a chance to play up here, but that'll probably be something for when we're off and stuff. So
yeah, Nick, what about you?
Yeah, Seaver said huge gamer. I hate golf. We'll never play golf. I mean, I'm a big like football fan. Like I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, so we're watching them later. I pretty much that's what I do on my Sundays every week after the scrimmages. And that's about it. I'm a little low key guy.
I love it. Well, we can't thank both of you enough for taking the time to join us on the clock. We're wishing you nothing but success this fall and then going into the 2024 season. We'll be watching Wake Forest just like everybody else and hoping you guys make that run.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.